Hey everybody, I'm Sean and welcome to my channel, Southern Audacity. If you're new here, welcome, welcome. If you're a subscriber or a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and all of that good stuff. You know the drill. So this is going to be a fairly quick video. One of my friends asked me if I would show her how do I use my bobbin winder on top of my sewing machine to thread my bobbins. Everybody doesn't buy pre-wound bobbins, which can be very convenient. But, you know, if you're just doing this as a hobby and you don't want to buy a whole box of pre-wound bobbins, you shouldn't have to. So I'm just going to show you how I wind my bobbins using my sewing machine, and we'll get started. Okay, so just to tell you all what I'm using for winding my bobbin, it's not a whole lot. The bobbin types that I'm using are the SA 156. They're the ones that come with the machine when you buy them. And I'll tell you, I started sewing a long time ago when the bobbins were all metal with these big holes in them, and so I still had a lot of those bobbins. And when I finally ran out of these, I was rethreading the metal ones, and I started having problems with my other with my brother's PE 770. I took it to the embroidery shop, and he's like, "Why are you using this metal bobbin, and where did you find this at?" Because I had it on an old sewing machine, and that's what I was using. I just assumed they were all alike. But all machines do not take the same bobbins. Don't find out the hard way, okay? So for my machines, I use the SA 156, and they sell these on Amazon, at your local sewing supply store, wherever, if you're the type of person who likes to have extra ones threaded and ready to go, okay? Just so that you don't have to rewind bobbins in the middle of your sewing jobs. And sometimes the machines do come with a few extra ones as well, but they break, and I just like to have some with me, on me. The thread that I'm going to be using, this, I have to mark them bobbin thread once I open them, because this is the 90 weight embroidery thread. I also have some brother embroidery thread that's also a 90 weight, but it's a little spool. And this here, I bought this stuff maybe a year ago, and obviously I don't do a whole lot of embroidery because it still lasts. And it was a 2-pack. So it was a 2-pack for like maybe $17. I know it wasn't $20. And I'm going to have to look and see exactly how much is on this cone. Is this 5,000? I'm not sure. But anyways, I'm going to get to the actual threading of everything to show you how I go through and thread everything. And basically it's just popping it on after you have it all threaded up, and you're going to use the top part of your machine to actually do the threading. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to try to quickly show you how I wind my bobbins using the Brother SE 425, which is that sewing embroidery combo. I don't know if it's still on the market anymore, because this was actually the first embroidery machine that I bought back in, I can't remember if it was 2015 or 2016, somewhere around there. But I only use it for the sewing feature and for that bobbin winder now. So I just want to show you what I do. I do buy the cones of bobbin thread, and I use the bobbin stand so that it'll hold it. And when you're using the bobbin stand, always make sure your thread is going through that loop so that it's not bunching up, okay? Now I am going to take the thread, and I'm going to start it by putting it through this top loop right here. And it's all numbered. The thing I like about Brother, they do number the steps so you can see exactly where everything is going. So you're going to go number 1. You're going to slide it up under number 2. And then around that hook for number 3. Then you're going to go around this here little circle right here. I forgot what that's called. But at this point, you're ready to put the thread on the bobbin, okay? So now you have your bobbin. I always try to look for the biggest hole in the bobbin, and I take my thread and I put it through the inside and up and just pull it through, okay? And so when it's in, initially it's going to look like that, okay? Can you tell that the thread is actually coming through the top and going through the inside? So I'm going to take it, make sure you don't cross it up there, and just sit it on top of the bobbin thing. Let me move this out of the way. This might make it a little bit easier for you to see what I'm doing. So I have it coming up and through that loop there. So this is going to go to the top. This goes to the top, and you're going to sit it on top of this here, okay? Now, I'm going to push that back, and I'm going to leave this alone for just a second, because you want to make sure that your thread that you're going to be using is out of the way. And I find that getting started, I always have to use two hands. I'm going to use one hand for holding the thread that as it comes off of the cone back here, and then I'm going to use another hand to hold on to it right here, just to make sure that it's not spinning and getting all bird nest looking around the bobbin, okay? And so now I have it pushed in, but you notice the button turned yellow down here, or is that orange? It doesn't automatically start. That's because I have the pressure foot plugged in, because I use it for the sewing feature. Had I had the pressure foot out and I'm using it for the embroidery feature, at this point you would have gotten a green light to press it and it would automatically start spinning to thread it. But we're not going to do that. We're using the pressure foot, and I'm going to put my foot on the pressure foot and just get it started a little bit, because you see it takes off spinning, and I hold it back here just to be sure that it's not bunching and, you know, too much going at a time. So now that I've got a good amount on the bobbin and it's pretty much covered up the point at which the thread might come off, I'll just hold it back here to give it a little bit of tension, and I'm going to just let it spin and spin and spin, okay? And you'll see that the bobbin is actually starting to fill up now. And when it gets to a certain point, it will stop. And like I said, I just hold my hand here on the thread as it's going through, just because there have been times where I would be trying to just let it go by itself and it would just look like a bird's nest and it was no good for use. And so as it starts getting full, it does start filling up and it'll stop, so that, you know, you really can't put any more on it. At that point, you just slide it back, you clip the part that you're not putting on it, and your bobbin is ready to go. So it's that simple.